You've just entered the Extra Zone Arcade. Got a different kind of review for you today. It's gonna be all unscripted, so just talking off the cuff about what we got here in Super Mario Galaxy Movie. Want to see more reviews, some unscripted, some scripted? Make sure to subscribe here and leave a like, and I'll do a whole lot more, okay? This movie will contain huge frickin' spoilers, hence the title, so watch at your own discretion. Okay, so before we really get into the contents of the movie itself, I think it's good to kind of look back at some of the pre-release stuff. So obviously, picking up from the first Super Mario Bros, obviously we all know the post-credit scene was Yoshi over there. So I think a lot of us going into this movie before we had seen any trailers or really had the title drop or anything, we were all kind of expecting it was going to be a Super Mario World movie. Would make sense, you know, for 3 movies, you go from Super Mario Bros for movie 1, then to Super Mario World for movie 2, and then, you know, movie 3, Galaxy. Seems like a good way to end the trilogy, of course, you know. So that's just kind of what made sense. And then obviously we got that first trailer for Galaxy movie, you know, and it started out with the Super Mario World theme, and then, you know, obviously it pans up, and then the Galaxy music comes on, and then look at that, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. So pretty crazy that we went straight to Galaxy for the second movie, you know. I don't think anyone was really expecting that. You know, I think we all pretty much had expected it was going to be the third movie. So going straight into it, you know, that's what we ended up getting. Then of course, you know, as time went on throughout last year, you know, we got a bunch of teasers, trailers, we got directs, we got the posters dropped, and of course, you know, we had our casting reveal as well, pretty much not too long before the movie came out. In fact, about a month ago at this point. The last direct was about a month ago, as of posting this, that showed off, obviously, some of the characters would be getting, not all of the characters, but some of them. Of course, you know, with the particular casting of Donald Glover as Yoshi and Brie Larson as Rosalina, you know, those being the 2 major ones, I think, to come out of it. And I have to say, Donald Glover did absolutely fantastic in this. His voice as Yoshi it's not even recognizable. You can't even tell it's him. So I think he did a pretty phenomenal freaking job, and I think he was honestly just the guy for the role. And yes, he does deserve that Oscar for his performance. It was I shed a tear, man. I shed a tear. It was truly emotional. And yeah, so, you know, obviously with all that kind of build up out the way, I guess we can kind of talk about the movie itself. So obviously, much like the first movie, this is an animated film, Illumination. So, you know, regardless of how I feel about Illumination's movies, generally speaking, I think they're kind of slop. One thing they've always done great with is the animation. And obviously, the first Super Mario Bros. Movie was probably their best looking movie to date. This blows even that out of the water. This is one of the prettiest movies I have ever freaking seen. It just looks absolutely stunning, absolutely phenomenal. They really captured the quiet sadness of Super Mario Galaxy within the movie's visuals. It looks really amazing though. Like the lighting is great. Of course, the animation quality is just top notch, very expressive. It's just very eye-catching, you know, the kind of thing that is engaging for all audiences, but absolutely will have kids glued to the screen. I must say, this movie just looks amazing. It just looks freaking spectacular. I don't know what else to really say. It's great. So, you know, of course, the movie opens up with the scene with Rosalina, the one that we saw in pretty much all the trailers, where she fights Mega Leg from Super Mario Galaxy. Really awesome to see that boss make it in. And, you know, yeah, she does great in the fight. She aura farms a little bit. It's amazing. And, you know, obviously before this, we had the whole storybook segment as well, where she explains, well, she's about to explain the origin of Princess Peach in the movie, because obviously if you remember the first movie, you know, she doesn't remember where she came from. So, you know, this will be a relevant plot point later, so, you know, we'll come back to that. But yeah, so she fights Mega Leg. Unfortunately though, she is ultimately captured. Of course, Bowser Jr. is piloting Mega Leg. Kamek is also there, and he's holding a mug with Professor Egad's logo on it, which is pretty fantastic. Just love to see all the small references here and there. And that's not the only Egad related reference. Obviously, Junior has his paintbrush throughout the movie, but there's no EGAD branding on that. But there's another thing that I'll talk about a little bit later in there when we talk about some of the Easter eggs and other such things like that. And yeah, so of course that is pretty much the opening scene of the movie. Then of course we cut to Mario and Luigi in Toast Arena, where they meet Yoshi. You know, we also get to see Mario and Luigi use fire flowers for the first time. That never happened in the first movie, which when someone pointed that out to me, I was like, huh, they really didn't use fire flowers at all in the first movie. Like, arguably like the most iconic power-up aside from the super mushroom. Kind of crazy that we're only seeing them actually use it now, but we did get fire DK, which is pretty sick in the first movie. I did enjoy seeing that. But this is about the second movie, not the first movie, so we'll talk about the freaking movie in front of us. So yeah, you know, they meet Yoshi and pretty quickly become friends with him. And what I will say is that this is where we first get some of the implications of the movie's breakneck fucking pacing, because we meet Yoshi and they're just immediately best friends. It's like he's always been there, just right away. So then, you know, pretty soon after that, you know, then we cut to the scene of Princess Peach's birthday party over there, and you know, obviously she's reminiscing about you know, when she came to the Mushroom Kingdom for the first time, and the fact that, you know, again reiterating that, you know, she doesn't know what her birthday is, she doesn't know where she came from, all that stuff. Then all of a sudden a bunch of star bits come flying down from the sky, and then it's like, wow, it's like the Star Festival in the Galaxy game, and it looks pretty fantastic. It's a pretty nice moment there, until a Luma crashes down, and the Luma's like, Princess Peach, I fuckingly found you. I've seen people talking about that. I've seen people talking about the fact that it sounds like the Luma is dropping an F-bomb there. I didn't hear it the first time, but when I went to watch it again today, I heard it and I was like, okay, right, I can see how people misconstrued that. It does sound like he drops the F-bomb, so there you go. Just a bit of a warning for you parents out there, you know. But you're watching what parents are watching this, bro? What parents are watching this spoiler review of Super Mario Galaxy? I really don't even know. But shout out to you if you are. So yeah, you know, essentially all of this is happening a mile a minute, and until eventually, you know, Peach obviously gets from the Luma that Rosalina has been captured. You know, he relays onto her that, you know, she's the one that is essentially going to save her. So that's what we get for, that's essentially our inciting incident for heading into the galaxy. Peach sneaks out. She goes out there with Toad in order to find Rosalina and, you know, maybe figure something else out about her past. Who knows? You know, next day, Mario and Luigi discover that Peach is gone, so we get a whole montage of them doing various Mario Bros game related activities. Like you get the Super Mario Bros 3 Hammer Bros fight, which is pretty sick. You get one of those scenes in there, among other things. That's where we get the frog suit mentioned, and yeah, just looks pretty amazing. The way they did that. I love the Mario 3 styled world map that goes with it. So then yeah, obviously then after that we cut to the Bowser scene where he's Minnie, and the one from the first trailer that was like the entirety of the first trailer. They just played that whole entire scene out. But you know, there's some additional jokes in there. You know, considering the rest of the movie's pace, this is actually a pretty long scene with Bowser here. So you know, we get that, and then not too long after, the castle is under siege, okay? It gets basically taken out the ground, kidnapped just like the first Mario Galaxy game. And that's where we get our first Bowser Jr. fight. And I just have to freaking say, dude, oh my god. the fight animation, the choreography in this movie, bro, it is next freaking level. It's so goddamn good. And there's quite a few fight scenes in this too that just look absolutely freaking-tacular. Like, really good. Really good. Like, it really... They sell the impact so much. They sell the movement. It's fast-paced. It's creative. The fights are very freaking good in this movie. Like some of the best I've seen from honestly, just the best I've seen from any kind of like Illumination movie, to be honest. Like, just looks fantastic. Just looks absolutely fantastic from top to bottom. Obviously, you know, they managed to beat back Bowser Jr., who's obviously there to pick up his dad, you know, reunite with him after all this time. I'll talk more about the you know, backstory in a sec here. And then yeah, you know, so you know, they fall out the castle into the Honey Hive Galaxy, because you know they make it basically past the atmosphere and then fall back out into the Honey Hive Galaxy from the first game, and you know, they're all there. Bowser lands as well, and we have a very temporary team up, because Bowser kind of has an arc in this movie where he's kind of on the reform path until he's not. Again, we'll kind of discuss that a bit more later. So you know, they go meet up with the Honey Queen, who is voiced by freaking Issa Rae of all people, which is hilarious. I love that. Just for the one scene though, she never shows up again throughout the whole duration of the movie. Bowser offers himself up to basically allow Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi to go into space. And they have a Bugger-Boom. They captured Bugger-Boom, and now he's like a taxi. What did they do, bro? They domesticated him. It's crazy, man. So yeah, obviously Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi make it to the Gateway Galaxy. Peach and Toad are already there. We'll talk more about their scene in a sec. But then, not long after Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi leave, Bowser is found and, rescued by Bowser Jr., where they reunite, and then we get the backstory of Bowser essentially telling Junior a story about this planet they want to make, essentially. And so, after being estranged for however long it's been, Bowser Jr. in that time has built that planet, and obviously he wants to reconnect with his dad, and the dad wants to reconnect to the son, and it's a nice wholesome story right there. I'm glad that out of all the things they kept in this movie, they kept that relationship between Bowser and Bowser Jr. very faithful, in that Bowser's he's just a good dad. He might not be the best guy, but he's at least a good father, so we'll give him that. He can't be totally evil, right? And the movie kind of plays off of that, in a sense. When it comes to Bowser, you would think with this kind of plot, it'd be like, oh, the father's trying to indoctrinate the son into his evil ways, but it's actually kind of the opposite, which I think makes for a very unique dynamic here, where Junior is really trying to get Bowser, to return to his former self, throughout the course of the movie. So, and that's kind of the main conflict that Bowser has. Again, we'll get more into specifics about how that resolves later. And yeah, so that's pretty much what we got there. And I have to say as well, during the flashback scene where Bowser's doing the whole puppet show, the animation there is so immaculate that the puppets genuinely look real. So I genuinely think that is the most impressive animation feat out of the entire movie. Even more than the fight scenes that are just spectacular. That puppet show was incredibly well animated. It's insane, the physics that they had for that. So then, yeah, obviously, back to the Gateway Galaxy. Peach and Toad get tricked by a monkey, and then they chase the monkey, and then they go into the casino where they meet Wart, who and also this is where Peach finds out about Rosalina, and then she starts to kind of piece together, remember where she came from, which obviously, resolves her to want to find Rosalina even more. So then, yeah, we get to this big freaking Mario Bros 2 boss rush, where we have Birdo, we have Wart, we have Mauser, and we also have Claw Grip. Claw Grip was not in the posters or in any trailers or anything. We had seen the other three though, other three, yeah. And it was really awesome to see that. But there was no Tri-Clyde and there was no Fry Guy. What am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this? As a Mario 2 hater, that disappointed me, okay? So obviously, once again, we get another absolutely fantastic fight scene with amazing choreographing, especially when the ninjas come into the mix, and we just get an absolute horde. Peach is just going crazy on them. Toad equips a penguin suit, which is sick. I got really hyped seeing that in the movie. And yeah, just a pretty fantastic scene all around. And then, obviously, we get onto the fight with Wart himself, where, of course, Peach picks up a turnip and throws it in his mouth. Just what I wanted to see, man. Just what I wanted to see. We love that. So then obviously, this is where she gets her hint to go to the space junk galaxy, and yeah, that we pretty much go from there. That's we go up to the top level of the Gateway Galaxy, and of course, this is where we meet Fox McCloud, which listen, man, that I'm so upset. I've gone to watch this movie twice now, obviously, as you could probably piece together. And both times I went with people who didn't see the poster that they put up 1 week before the movie dropped. That was just like, hey, by the way, Fox is gonna be in this movie. Just go. I'm so mad they gave that away, because that would have been the most hype fucking thing to see in the entire movie. I think him being there is like the biggest thing. I think that's like the biggest surprise. So it kind of sucks that they essentially gave that away for those of us who are like super big fans and obviously are like constantly seeing stuff about the movie, and it's to an unavoidable degree. There was no way I could have not seen that poster, so I'm upset, but at least I know that there are people who experienced that and got to be hyped about that as well. But I'm a little salty, and I have to say, I really love the animated scene he gets when he's first introduced that shows the whole Star Fox crew. They even have a screenshot pop up for a second of Star Fox 64, which I think is fucking hilarious. That was really funny. But bro, we need like a Star Fox movie or like a TV series or something with that animation style. We need it now. We just need it now. The movie actually does a lot of different, uses a lot of different animation mediums. Like later in the movie, there's some more pixel art animation used. Which, you know, isn't like the best pixel art animation ever, but, you know, it's cool that it's there. And obviously there's 2D animation for Star Fox, the animated puppets, and then of course just the regular animation throughout the movie. Just a mix of a lot of different kind of, you know, mediums going on here, which is really sick to see. And of course, Fox is voiced by Glenn Powell, who does a fantastic job. And I've been seeing a lot of articles relating to him, where apparently like right after the first Mario movie came out, he called them like begging to do a Star Fox movie, but obviously you know, that's gonna make like $0. So they were like, you know what, man, we love your passion, we'll put Fox in the movie, you can voice him, and you know, it can be a whole thing. And you know what, I'm glad we got that. I'm very glad we got that. He pretty much plays a very major role in the movie, which is also a topic of debate, but we'll get more into that a little bit later. In fact, actually, we'll just talk about it now, to be honest. Fox kind of low-key just takes Rosalina's role in the movie, to be honest, because if you remember Galaxy 1, you know, Rosalina doesn't do a lot within the actual plot itself. You know, this is something I've said before, but like Rosalina, most of like what makes her interesting is like the backstory and less her character itself. And you know, within the game of Galaxy 1 at least, you know, she's like a looming presence, but she doesn't really do much. She's more just like your ride. She's more just like your means of getting around. And so that's pretty much what we get with Fox, to the point where even later in the movie, to jump ahead a little bit, he drives the Comet Observatory to go to Bowser's planet the same way that Rosalina does to get you to Galaxy Generator in the original game. So pretty much, yeah, Fox essentially just takes Rosalina's role in the movie, which has been pretty controversial for some people. And you know, she has had you know, obviously doesn't have much screen time, being kidnapped for most of the runtime. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this either, but you know, at the end of the day, listen, with those rumors of us potentially getting a new Star Fox game, if this is the sacrifice we had to make in order for that to happen, then maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay for the Star Fox fans to get their W. You know, Star Fox is one of those series I just haven't really hopped on yet. Maybe I should, if that new game comes out, maybe I'll hop in. Who knows? I might really give it a proper try this time around and see what we think. Anyways, this is completely off topic. Yeah, so, you know, as well as that, during this scene on Gateway Galaxy where we meet Fox, obviously Rob is also there, and, you know, he moves slowly just like the actual toy in real life, which I really love. I've said this a few times, but I would have loved to see if there were regional differences with this movie, where the Japanese version has the Rob we see in the movie with the red arms, and the international versions have the Rob with the grey arms. You know, that would have been a really cool little Easter egg to have there. But I guess they wanted to homogenize it, which is fair. We also get some Pikmin show up as well, which is pretty freaking awesome. And how could I forget? Earlier in the movie, we get like a little flashback of Yoshi after the post-credit scene of the first movie, after he hatches. He kind of just like goes around Brooklyn causing mayhem for a little bit, and during this scene you can see Doc Lewis on his little bike and Little Mac chasing after him in that iconic pink hoodie. Okay, just like in the Punch Out NES game. Of course, in the first Super Mario Bros. Movie we had a lot of references to Punch Out, but we're literally seeing them now, which is freaking amazing. So all I'm saying is we have quite a few characters for a Smash Bros movie, okay? Are we gonna get Smash Bros? Is it gonna happen? You know, we had a quote with Miyamoto over there where he said basically not to expect it, but like, it feels like they really want to do it. And we'll talk more about other potential characters that could be there a little bit later, okay? But that it's exciting stuff, but we'll talk about it. But there we go. One thing I also like during this scene is when Mario pulls up. It looks like they're gonna do the whole thing of like, oh, Mario's jealous because Peach is hanging hanging out with this super cool, chill guy as Fox is, and then they kind of play it up, and then they're like, no, they're cool. I like that they do that. I think these movies have done really good when it comes to not falling into like too many of the like super duper expected tropes out of a kid's movie. Obviously, if you remember back in the first movie, that one scene with Donkey Kong and Mario where they're both like kind of bonding over their what would you call it? Like bonding over their like daddy issues, I suppose. Is that what we're calling it? Where you would think like Donkey Kong's gonna turn around and comfort Mario, but then he just kind of doesn't to keep the rivalry going. I like that. And as well, earlier in the movie when I talked about, you know, the relationship between Bowser and Junior, where they kind of reverse the roles a little bit there from what you would typically expect. They do that a lot here. They subvert your expectations a lot with things like that. So I do actually appreciate that they do that, even though the movies are generally light on plot and the writing isn't really ever anything to, well, write home about. But you know, I think where they do manage to make it unique, it works out quite well. To get back into the main plot though, so glad to see that. Of course, you know, we leave Gateway Galaxy in the R-Wing. This is where we get another fight with Bowser Jr. and we also get here Bowser Jr. has a whole bunch of weapons. There's the cannon boxes, there's the Donkey Kong hammers, there's the boomerangs that you get from the boomerang flower, and as well, the biggest thing that's there is Flood. Yes, that Flood from Super Mario Sunshine. He just has that. He just has that. So between the EGAD mug from the start of the movie and Flood being there, I mean, EGAD is in this universe. Charlie Day has talked about potentially doing a Luigi's Mansion spin-off. I'm just saying that, you know, it's there. Just make it happen. I don't know what you gotta do, but just make it happen. So yeah, then, you know, obviously we get that fight. You know, Junior turns them into babies because Bowser is essentially like, hey, let's actually not kill those guys. You know, they suck, but like, you know, they're not like bad guys. We don't gotta like kill them or nothing. And then Junior's like, all right, we won't kill them. So yeah, he turns them into babies. They crash into a planet below, which isn't based on any particular galaxy from Galaxy. If anything, it's based more on the what's it called? Oh my god, I'm forgetting the name. Why am I forgetting? Fossil Falls from Super Mario Odyssey. Okay, it's essentially based on that. You get the giant T-Rex. You get the segment there. Now, I thought they were gonna go with more of a Yoshi Safari reference, but it's really just like visually. It's really just like visually a Yoshi Safari reference. Like we don't shoot anything. So yeah, well, actually, no, they do shoot the dinosaur at the end with the ray to turn it into a baby as well, which, you know, was fun to see. But, you know, it turned out to be, you know, a pretty long scene, to be honest. You know, I think that whole segment, it wasn't really necessary. I feel like we probably could have just cut that out of the movie, especially, again, in a movie that's moving a mile a minute. To have sections like this drag on, it feels a little like we're lacking focus. We're definitely lacking focus at this point in the plot. So, you know, obviously they do that. They defeat the dinosaur. Fox can't fix the R-Wing. Luigi radios out. The Lumas happen to hear it, and then they pull up literally not even that long after that. Literally not even that long after that. We also get a scene with Bowser and Junior, and this is essentially the point where you know, Junior shows Bowser Senior that Bowser Senior, I just called him that for no reason. So, you know, he shows him that Rosalina's kidnapped, and he's like, this is your life, this is your roots, man, this is what you gotta do now. And then Bowser's like, you know what, man, I'm back, bitches, my Koopas. You know, it's a whole thing. So the switch up just happens. It just happens, you know, like we go from Bowser being like relatively reluctant to kill them the last time that we saw them, to now we're just back to straight up Bowser as if like the ending of Mario 1 just didn't happen, you know, like he's pissed. He's pissed. He wants them dead again. Just like that. It just happens, which a lot of things in this movie just happen. Namely, the next thing I'm going to talk about, which is when they so obviously the Lumas come down from Luigi's distress call. They rescue the team, and this is where Peach goes into Rosalina's library. She reads the book, realizes her origin, which confirms that they're siblings, by the way. Rosalina and Peach are sisters in this universe, which is different from the games, you know, not quite what's from the games. And I'm personally like a little mixed on it. I think it's kind of random, but like at the same time, there's always been like a long-running theory that they do have some kind of relation, because if you remember during Rosalina's storybook, her mother in the storybook has hair that resembles Peach quite a lot. So a lot of us kind of had the theory that like maybe there's some like time travel shenanigans potentially, and like Peach is Rosalina's mother, like from the future or something. If I'm remembering correctly, I might be getting the theory wrong, so someone can correct me in the comments. But yeah, so essentially, we always kind of suspected there was some kind of relation between them, but sisterhood is, it's a little different. It's a little bit different. Obviously, just trying to tie them together in more of a concrete way, which, I can appreciate that trying to do that, but in a sense, it kind of like the reason I'm not completely on board with it is because it kind of lessens the scale. I feel like, it makes Mario's universe feel just that little bit smaller, having them be related in such a direct way. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my thing with it. They also say that they're both made of stardust, which implies that Peach has some kind of cosmic ability. I don't know, they didn't go anywhere with that, and this is my main problem with this particular scene. After Peach finds this out, we get like one shot of her being like, oh, and then it just immediately cuts to Planet Bowser again. We're heading over there. That's what's happening now. Yeah, we get no time to sit on it. The characters don't get any time to sit on it. The Peach doesn't even so much as like explain what's going on there. As a matter of fact, Mario never actually even finds out that this is why Peach left in the first place until after the final battle. We just never find that out. She never on screen discloses the reason why she left and why this is all happening on screen. That just didn't happen for some reason. So that was definitely, again, it's like there's just some things that just kind of like happen, and then we're just kind of like expected to just kind of like just move on immediately, just not even think about it type situation. So that's kind of again the main thing that I think drags like kind of holds it back. So yeah, I would say this definitely ends up being the I'd say that definitely ends up being the worst victim of the pacing issues of this movie, which are very apparent. So now we're already in the final act. With that, we are now in the third act of the movie. The fact that this review is like maybe even a little bit over a third of the length of the movie is a little crazy, but it is what it is. Then of course, we get to the final thing here. So, Fox flies them in on the Comet Observatory. It's a whole great scene. I love that during all the Star Fox scenes, you get a ton of music from the Star Fox games. Pretty freaking sick to see. I definitely popped off hearing those. It was amazing. And we get into the final fight, which a lot of the set pieces are based on 3D World as well. Like you get a lot of like the Ferris wheels from World Bowser from that game. And then we obviously get to the final fight. So, first we encounter Bowser on the bridge, classic Super Mario Bros. 1 style. And then, obviously Bowser's he's just pissed, bro. Like he genuinely wants them fucking gone, which is just like, again, it's just like the switch up just happens so quickly and so drastically that it's just like, sure, man. All right, we're here now. Let's just enjoy it. And then so we defeat Bowser. Then of course he falls into the lava. Now, if you've played New Super Mario Bros. DS, you might have an inclination of what's gonna happen next, bro. Let me tell you, I was in that theater on opening night. I was like, there is no fucking shot they're about to do what I think they're about to do, and then they did it. Dry Bowser. Dry motherfucking Bowser. I was not ready for that. I was genuinely not ready for that. I was like, wait, there's no way. So that was really fucking awesome to see. And the Dry Bowser design is absolutely phenomenal. I really, really love it. I really, really love it. Just an absolutely phenomenal moment right there. The fight leading up to it is the fight itself is great. Bowser Jr. gets a Fury form, which is sick. Really love that. And so we fight Fury Bowser Jr. We fight Dry Bowser. Luigi and Yoshi join the fight, and we get some power-ups there. You know, Luigi uses the cloud mushroom from Galaxy, or the cloud flower, not mushroom, which is awesome. Mario gets the drill mushroom from Wonder, which was a really nice surprise to see that, and Yoshi gets the blimp fruit from Galaxy 2, which is really, really sick. So, he doesn't really do anything in the fight with it, but, you know, it's just kind of supposed to be like a gag thing. So yeah, absolutely amazing final fight, and then, you know, so eventually the gang gets the upper hand, Luigi gets the paintbrush, and then with Junior's paintbrush, he summons Mr. Game & Watch. Fucking Mr. Game & Watch, and he just straight up does his Smash moveset. Like, he does the up B into the fucking 9 hammer. Like, I didn't even know what to tell you at that point. Just absolute fucking peak cinema. And yeah, I think that one out of all the cameos had to, like, it was a pretty short little cameo there, but it had to have been one of my favorites because it was just completely out of left field. It was one of the only ones in there that was like completely unexpected. Like, obviously there were no trailers, there was no poster for him, like there was with Fox, and obviously as well, like there was with Rob. You know, Rob showed up in some of the TV spots as well there, so obviously I knew about him. It was only really it was only Mr. Game & Watch and the Pikmin that were like the only cameos that we didn't see, but obviously Mr. Game & Watch has a slightly bigger cameo than just the Pikmin showing up and just kind of running around. Also, during the scene in Gateway Galaxy, there is I think there's a ship that looks a lot like Samus's gunship that flies off in the background. It looks a little bit more yellow than usual, but it looks pretty close to it, so I'm sure that was intentional. There's also a ship that flies off with Joy-Cons, like the wings of the ship are like Joy-Cons, which is fucking awesome. I really love that. So yeah, back to the final fight though. Yeah, the Mr. Game & Watch cameo was amazing. Then eventually, you know, the paintbrush kind of just makes a thing, and then we get the ruined dragon from Super Mario Odyssey. And it's just like in the game. It just pops up out of absolutely fucking nowhere, and it eats Bowser Jr. So then Mario has to equip the red star from Galaxy, and he does the spin. He does the Galaxy spin. Actually, there's a couple times where he kind of does it leading up to the final fight, but and during the final fight too. But this is like the first actual spin with the blue aura to it, like in the game. So that was really sick to see. Really sick to see them adapt that power up, and really sick to see them adapt that boss from Odyssey. There was again a lot of Odyssey stuff in this, between Toast Arena, between the T-Rex and the planet being a lot like the what is the actual name of the kingdom? Anyways, just Fossil Falls, yeah. And then of course the Ruined Dragon here at the end. So yeah, essentially that's basically it. That's basically where the movie ends. Peach saves Rosalina, and of course during all of that we do get a short and sweet moment with the two of them, but again, you know, just very little screen time, very little time for us and the characters to really properly process all of this, considering how big of a plot point it's been across the two movies with Peach's origin. Really just feels like we just kind of rushed through it, but you know, it is what it is, man. And yeah, there we go. So you know, Mario equips the Cape Feather from Super Mario World. They rebuild the castle, and then he puts the thing on top, and then credits roll. But of course we have some mid-credit scenes. We have the scene where Fox drops off Bowser and Junior in the prison, which we did technically get this scene spoiled from one of the trailers. I think literally the first trailer spoiled the scene where the Luma guard is like harassing them, but like we don't actually get to see them in the cell. So that's the mid-credit scene, and then the end credit scene, massive spoilers for this, but you've watched a spoiler review up to this point, so you should have been expecting this. The post-credit scene features Daisy for Super Mario 3. So yeah, that's what we're gonna get. And you know, obviously with Daisy, it's pretty I feel like it's pretty evident that we're gonna get Wario and Waluigi, and I just have to say, for my castings, Zendaya Daisy, obviously, Danny DeVito Wario, obviously, and Willem Dafoe Waluigi. It's the only way. I don't know what to tell you. It has to be. It just has to be. And yeah, man, you know, so that's pretty much where the movie ends. Of course, just like the first movie, the soundtrack is filled with a ton of callbacks and a ton of music from the games, lots of which is from Galaxy. There's a lot of Sunshine in there too, actually. You know, you get the boss theme from Sunshine plays during the first Bowser Jr. fight. The Bowser Jr. fight from Galaxy also plays when we get to the Bowser planet the first time. Of course, the Fated Battle also plays from Galaxy 2 quite a number of times in the movie. As well as Gusty Garden Galaxy plays during the final fight, and many Galaxy sound cues, and also some sound cues from other games. Like there's a little bit of Yoshi story in there during the montage when they're like Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi are like doing stuff around the Mushroom Kingdom. It plays the little jingle from Yoshi's story for a bit there, which is really sick. And yeah, you know, just again, they absolutely popped off with that. Brian Tyler, I believe, is the composer for both movies. Absolutely phenomenal. We got to get this guy on the Sonic movies, okay? Get this guy on the Sonic movies, and we are golden, okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So yeah, I guess with the main bulk of the movie having been covered, I'll talk about some of the references too. So the first one I want to talk about is during the scene where Mario and Luigi are investigating the Toasterine ruins, and they discover Yoshi. Mario says, "Here's the problem." He goes, "Here's the problem." I'm just saying, is that a hotel? Is that a fucking Hotel Mario reference? Is that a Hotel Mario reference, my boy? Are we serious right now? No, okay, that's a joke. I'm sure that one's a stretch. That one's absolutely a stretch. Of course, we also have some more Sunshine references in there as well. You know, I talked about Flood. I talked about the EGAD mug. We also, during the first Bowser Jr. fight, he summons one of the shadow polluted piranha plants from Sunshine, which is really sick to see. Another great reference is something I really didn't expect them to reference. They referenced the fucking Minus World glitch of all things. When the Ukiki takes their items in the Gateway Galaxy and they have to go chase him down, there is a he jumps through a particular spot on the wall, and on the wall it says 1-2. So then Peach and Toad go through, and then when they come out the other side, they come through a billboard of an underwater level with purple tiles, like the Minus World in Super Mario Bros. So that was a really crazy reference to see. I absolutely love seeing that though. That was sick. Of course, you know, we have with Star Fox being there, they had to reference Do a Barrel Roll, and they referenced it a couple times in the movie. Of course, that's like the Star Fox line at this point. So it was really, you know, of course we were going to see that. As well, during the Gateway Galaxy scene, we also saw the N64 logo. There was also on one of the signs behind them, the potions that spawned the doors in Super Mario Bros. 2 was also there. And then, you know, there's a couple little dialogue references just to end this off. You know, again, there's like a ton of references. Some of there are some books based on other Mario games. Like you can see you can see Tippy from Paper Mario on one of the books, which is kind of fun during Rosalina's storytime scene. But you know, there's a couple dialogue references that I wanted to point out, which both happened pretty much like very soon after each other. So leading up to the final boss, you know, Mario and Peach basically have to do an obstacle course that Bowser Jr. makes, and it is literally Mario Maker. And before he spawns in all the obstacles, he says, "Time to meet your maker." So that's pretty fun. That's like, come on, man. You can't get away with this. We can't let them get away with this. But I just love the fact that they made the Mario Maker course actually look like a kid made it. Like it's got fire bars everywhere, swords everywhere, thwomps that completely block your path, bob-ombs all over the place. Literally the exact kind of like troll level a 7-year-old would make in Mario Maker. So it's really, it was really faithful the way that they did that, and just really cool to see. And this is where the pixel art animation comes in with that. And then not too long after that, when we encounter Bowser, he's like, "Bowser's back, and now you'll feel my fury." Obviously referencing Bowser's fury. So you know, man, they did the thing. They did the fucking meme, okay? That really was a Super Mario Galaxy, bro. Which I guess is how I can end the movie off, end this review off even. Is this a Super Mario Galaxy movie? Maybe not. Maybe not. The movie feels more like it's representing Mario 40th anniversary, while also pushing more of Nintendo's other series in there, you know? Like, it feels a little bit more like that at times than a Galaxy movie. What is there from Galaxy is great, and I think is done really well, but I do think that, you know, If you're a fan of the original Galaxy games and you're expecting this to be an adaptation, that's not what you're gonna get. That's just absolutely not what you're gonna get. But what you will get is a movie that is super well animated, has a ton of Easter eggs for fans like myself, references, of course, that will make you point and scream at the screen and make you pop off in the theater like an absolute fucking lunatic. I'm a grown-ass fucking man doing this. But listen, man, it's an enjoyable watch. Very much the kind of movie where you turn your brain off, you know, just like the first movie. In terms of the plot, it's pretty simplistic. In terms of the writing, it's not like, there's no like messaging really behind it. There's no morals. There's no, you know, the kind of thing that maybe you would expect from some kid movies. It's just kind of a movie you just sit back, watch, enjoy, laugh at, point at all the references, and just be in awe of the really stunning animation. And for that respect, is it a great movie? Probably not. Is it a great movie? Probably not. But what it is it is a thrill ride. It is a spectacle from start to finish. And as a fan of these games, as a fan of these characters, I just enjoyed the hell out of it. I really did. I really did just enjoy the absolute hell out of it. And honestly, having watched it twice already, like I kind of just want to go watch it again. You know, I don't have the money to do that, but you know, I would like to go see it again. So I think that's pretty much my review. You know, if I had to give it a score, I would give it a 7 out of 10. I do think a lot of the reviews for this game are super harsh. I do see where they're coming from. I would say for the most part, in terms of just being actual movies and having the things we would really expect from a movie, the Sonic movies kind of just blow Mario out the water. But in terms of just like the spectacle and, you know, the absolute fan service of it, like, yeah, the Mario movies are kind of on another level with that, to the point where like it really is like the main thing you're going for at this point. But with that said, I'm gonna end off this review here. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Let me know what you think of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Were you somewhere in the middle? And you know, tell me what some of your favorite moments were, you know, if you did like it. Of course, you know, this was a pretty unscripted review here. This recording has clocked in at almost 50 whole minutes. I'm definitely going to be cutting this down. If it ends up long anyways, though, I apologize. Also, I apologize for the lack of actual movie footage. You know, copyright will be a bitch like that. But if you enjoyed this and you want to see more reviews, unscripted or otherwise, then yeah, obviously make sure to subscribe here on the Extra Zone Arcade. You know, we do bi-weekly videos. Go check out the live channel, Extra Zone Live, over on YouTube as well. We stream there on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as well as on twitch.tv/Extra Zone Arcade. Go follow that and maybe drop a sub there if you're feeling generous enough. With that said, guys, have yourselves a great one, and thank you so much for watching my video. I'm sorry. See you later.